I want to thank you for taking the time today to learn more about the mission and vision of Lighthouse Ready. I would like to begin our session today by telling you a little bit about myself. My name is Mark Springer, and I'm from Northern Colorado. I'm a native of Northern Colorado. And this year is what I call my 40s celebration. With that 40 celebration, really, there's three great milestones that I've crossed, I feel, in my career. The first and probably most importantly is this year represents 42 years since I made Jesus Christ the Lord and Savior of my life. Probably the most important event in my life. A close second is this year also is a milestone that I'm celebrating my 40th anniversary with my lovely wife and ever faithful companion, Maria. I have three lovely grown children and grandchildren. God's really blessed my life. Finally, this year is also my 40th year in a career in the area of emergency, disaster, and crisis response. Please allow me to expand a little on that career because I think that will help give you a better perspective regarding some of the information that I'm going to share today. I actually began my disaster and emergency career as a career firefighter. For 17 years, I responded to emergencies and many thousands of them. I love the job as you're helping people and getting paid for it. It was a wonderful opportunity. I went through training, fire prevention, various areas of investigation, suppression. So I had quite a career. During those last years in the fire service, I really started having a yearning to teach and train firefighters in areas that we were focusing on, primarily in the area of hazardous materials. We began doing seminars around the country, and my background is in publishing and education and curriculum development. I left the fire service, and that began a 22-year publishing career where we developed curriculum and courseware for firefighters. And through those years, we wrote probably the book on infection control for airborne, bloodborne pathogens. That led to the continued publishing of information. You could probably go into any fire department and find our courses throughout the U.S. and Canada on their shelves. One of the unique opportunities that we had during that time of publishing is that we actually utilized the resources from our business activities to impact the world and do good things primarily in what we call the 1040 window in about 20 countries. We developed a lot of projects and support enabling locals and nationals to reach nationals. That career came to an end in 2005 when we actually sold our company to Oklahoma State University. And I began wondering what I should do, obviously with the days ahead. At that time, I met a humanitarian organization, and they came up to me and said, Mark, what we really are seeing around the world are disasters that are starting to open doors for us to go in and to impact a culture and help people that are suffering from these disasters. And they said, you have a background in this. Would you help us develop an organization that could pull together a group of nonprofits and NGOs, primarily faith-based organizations, that could bring better response and help? We started visiting national disasters. Obviously, they started probably in the tsunami in 2004. And I started looking back. Let me show you just a few of the disasters that we've actually gone to as this organization. Many, I personally didn't go to many of these locations, but our teams went and brought aid. And how many people have heard, let's say, for instance, the 2008 Myanmar cyclone Nargis? Anybody? You know, it's unusual. Yeah, I get one or two hands and maybe 100 people. And this was an incident in 2008 I'll point out briefly. But then it went on. We had our Hurricane Gustav here in the U.S. and Sichuan, China earthquakes and flooding. And then all of a sudden in 2010, the Haiti earthquake, Pakistan flooding, Brazil, and the Christchurch earthquakes back to back, 1 year apart. Some of the most devastating still are trying to bring themselves up from Christchurch, New Zealand. And then obviously the devastating Japan earthquake and tsunami. I mean, there's a list. And in fact, as humanitarians, we started saying, how do these compare to the rest of the world in history? Well, what we found was since 2005, the largest loss of life and injury events in recorded time have taken place in this period. Remember the Myanmar cyclone Nargis there? Number 3, 200,000 dead, 300,000 were injured. If that event happened in the United States, you think that'd probably make the news? We would think that is a huge event, which it was, and I'm not minimizing it. The Haiti earthquake, again, devastating, 320,000 dead. And, I remember in 1 week in 2009, These are the calamities and disasters that faced us as an organization to say, wonder what we should go to this week. And look at that list. Those are just some of the issues and events that were happening throughout the world in 2009. They were unprecedented. We are living in uncertain times, one gentleman told me a while back. He came up and said, Mark, I think we're living in uncertain times. And, I kind of gave the proverbial, you think? It is uncertain times, isn't it? And I always say, do we understand the signs of the times that we live in? That's important as we walk through this world. What is happening and what are some of the signs and the challenges throughout the world? If you feel like a storm is coming, there's some unknown and uncertain times, well, I want to encourage you today, you're not alone, because we see that everywhere we travel, there's a lot of concerns, and rightly so.